Welcome to Vernon Hockey Voices. Today's special guest, Kyle Bigos, all the way from California. In fact, I'm all the way from California as well. We're about an hour's drive away from each other at this point?
Yeah, just about. Hopefully, no traffic.
Tell people where you're living now.
Right now, I'm living in Laverne, California with my wife, my beautiful daughter, and my mother-in-law.
Right? And you're working and studying all at the same time. Tell us about
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, right now I'm working as a EMT at AMR in San Bernardino, and I'm in paramedic academy. I'm almost finishing up. I'm in my internship portion, and
Yes.
it's going great. It's fast paced and a lot of learning.
Good. Now, when you were in Vernon, you billeted with Rick and Linda.
Oh yeah, I did. I miss them so much.
Do you? And they were both paramedics.
I remember at the dinner table asking them some stories and hearing what they had to go through and how stressful the job was. And I thought,
Yeah.
man, I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll think about that while I'm at work. And man, I didn't know I had it in me, but I think kind of their stories paved kind of the way.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Plus, your dad was a police officer. Your mother was a nurse. I believe a emergency room nurse, was she?
She was, and I thought I'd fill it out being a paramedic, and the ultimate goal is a firefighter. So I got all bases covered in the first responder field.
Yeah, your path was laid out for you. Now, let's start kind of at the beginning. When did you start playing hockey?
I think I was about 6 years old. My brother and I joined a outdoor roller hockey league.
Did you?
It took place in the parking lot of a minor league baseball team's field, and I just thought it was funny. We had painted lines on the ground, and the only thing you needed was roller skates, helmets, elbow pads, and you're good to go.
There you went. Yeah. And then you moved from California to Wilcox, Saskatchewan, to play
I
hockey
did.
at Notre Dame College and go to school there. How old were you then?
I was 15 years old going into my grade 10.
Yeah.
I remember one summer going to Banff, Canada for just like a fun, hockey camp.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, if you want to be serious, like you could pave your way into something, college hockey, pro hockey. And my dad, being a retired professional baseball athlete, said, hey, like if you're serious about this, you're all in now.
Yeah.
And at 15 years old, I thought, well, that's a big decision, but I'm glad I made it.
Oh, absolutely. And your parents moved there as well.
They did. First, my mom, she came up, and 1 week a month she would go down to North Dakota to be a travel nurse. And then my dad retired after my first year there and came and helped coach the baseball team the next 2 years.
And I recall them saying that they really loved it in Wilcox. What was it about the program there and about the town that appealed to a family from California?
Well, I think my dad and mom were very people persons, very friendly. And the Saskatchewan lifestyle, it's like, there's not too much to go out and do in the city. So a lot of it was great conversation, great people, slow pace. You really got to, know people. In California, it's just so busy. So going up there was the change they really needed and something they loved.
You didn't have to worry too much about traffic jams in Wilcox.
No, I remember nobody locked their doors up there because it was a town of, 30 houses. And one day our neighbor came in unannounced. He just opened the door, walked in the kitchen. I was like, hey, how you doing? My mom's jaw was on the floor. Like, what, is this normal?
Now, you got recruited by the Vipers. Was that Larry, or was that Mark Ferner who came after you?
No, it was Larry. I remember, and I played midget AAA with Braden Pym, and his uncle ended up stepping away from the program the year we came in. But before he did, he's like telling Pym, yeah, you could bring your friend, Kyle. Looked like he had good numbers from AAA. And once I made an impact at camp, Oh, I was so happy to be able to play with Braden and the BCHL, and
Yes, yes,
not to mention the Vernon Vipers. Those,
yeah. Now, the two of you made quite an impact in a lot of ways. And one of the ways in which you made an impact was premier trash talkers on the ice. Is that right or is that wrong?
I think that's right. It was good at Notre Dame. You had people, coming from all over parts of the world, let alone Canada and the United States.
Yes.
So you got to pick, and choose what you wanted to take with you. And being a prep school in just a AAA league, there's a lot of people gunning for you. So I had some good practice going in.
Do you recall any special moments when you reached the pinnacle of trash talking?
I just remember having people actually look at me with that bewildered look because in California, we didn't have trash talk. And when I got up to Saskatchewan and everyone was laying into me, I was too slow-witted to have a response. So once I became, good at trash talking and giving it to players, they would give me that same look. And I was like, I know that look. That was me a couple of years ago.
I seem to recall one occasion, though, where you would knock the opposing player flat and you were towering over and you were saying to him, I don't think your mother should let you out. You're going to get hurt in this game.
Yeah, I wanted to let him know we were all thinking it. Might as well say it.
Yeah. Now, I have two other really strong memories of you playing Viper hockey. One of them was in a game in Surrey. You were back by your own net. You'd moved the puck up ice. One of the Jones twins got hammered at center ice. You remember that moment?
I do.
And there you were skating like a madman, gloves flying, helmet flying, stick flying, and you got in there and helped out your brother, your Jonesy brother.
Oh, I loved it. I actually have Chris Crowell to thank for that. Just being from California, not being immersed in hockey for so long, I didn't really understand that part of the game. And
yes,
I remember coming home after some games my first year and, kind of not doing the job as well as I should have. And he'd sit down and have that look on his face like, I need to teach you some stuff. So knowing when and where to, kind of stick up for your teammates, it was all Chris.
Have you ever had a better captain than Chris Crowell?
No, I haven't. Even doing interviews and, moving on from college and pros and them asking who is the best player you played with, all around it was him. It was just his character and the way he would relate to you as a captain, as a leader, as a friend, as a peer. I've never met someone so mature, well put together, and he was really smart. I don't know if a lot of people knew that. He was very smart. So just having him as a roommate and a leader was, I don't think I would have moved on too much or went as far as I did without a lot of the knowledge he gave me. And, I never really tell him that because he always gives me some hard times as a friend. So I don't want to give him that satisfaction.
The other moment I remember, and I think everybody who saw it remembers, was your goal in Victoria, the second goal that cemented that RBC Cup win against the Humboldt Broncos. Can you take us through that goal?
Oh, man. That game wasn't going that well for me. Defensively, I wasn't as sharp. Offensively, I was a little flat-footed. And going into that power play is just thinking, all right, we really need to close the door on these guys.
Yeah.
So getting the puck at the point and looking at the options of what we had, I wanted to fake a shot, move around a defender, and maybe create a lane. And next thing I know, I could read the body language of the next defender already going down to block a shot. So I thought, all right, maybe one more. And then coming close to the net, I panicked and said, all right, we need a shot on goal. Don't waste this opportunity. And it all worked out.
Yeah. Now, you'd played against that goaltender because he was at Notre Dame, right? You must have gone against him in practice, and the move you made on him was sterling. Was that something that just came automatically here, or was something you'd practiced back in Notre Dame?
Actually, something that came automatic, as well as La Rochelle, the goalie, and then Hammond.
Yeah.
In practice, when you're working on a goalie, you realize they learn your movements, your body language, how you're going to shoot.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets you to elevate your game. So just always trying new things, being able to read and react on the fly. It's something I was able to pull out, just at that time. Is something I don't think I've ever really practiced.
Yeah. It was a magic moment, and all Viperdom, thank you for that one. So after you left Vernon, you went to Merrimack College in Boston. What was that experience like?
It was beautiful. I remember the fly down, seeing the campus for the first time, immaculate. And it was a smaller campus. And I think that hit home for me because Notre Dame was small as well.
Yes.
I couldn't imagine going to a big university. And then having, a lot of different athletes on campus, training in the locker room and the gym. It was really fun to have that experience. I'm glad my mom and dad are saying, hey, the ultimate goal is a college degree and playing Division I. Yeah. And then pro, that's, eat your vegetables, you have your dessert.
Good line, man. Good line.
Oh, yeah.
And not only did you play 4 years there and sort of wreak havoc and told up I'm looking at the penalty minutes, you put up some pretty good penalty minutes at college hockey. And it was one of the reasons why the Oilers drafted you, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. I realized being a physical player, I had to really, hone that skill. And at college, the funniest thing was I'd always stretch and kind of warm up at the red line and look at the other team, what they're doing, who they have in the lineup. Yeah. The refs would come over and talk to me, and they were so friendly, great people. I loved every single one of them. Yeah. But during the game, I'd get a lot of calls like they were looking for me. And I thought, man, I should fly under the radar and not hang out with you in warm-ups.
Yeah, this guy has a rep. Not only did you play there and play well and get drafted, but you were on the Dean's Honor Roll, weren't you?
I think my senior year, I finally was.
Yeah.
I came in without a major, and I remember skate with the fans after a Sunday game. I was hanging out with the kids, having a blast.
Yeah.
One of our professors approached me and said, hey, have a meeting tomorrow with me and your coach. I want to talk about your future. So going into that, didn't know what to expect. And she said, we need more males and more athletes in human development and early child development. And she took me under her wing, and, she has a PhD. She's written a lot of books on the subject. I was really hard to acquire all that knowledge, and she stuck with me. So by senior year, I was finally finding my place in the academic world.
Yeah. And during a pause, if I'm not mistaken, during a pause in your pro career, you did work with kids. Is that right?
I did. I was thinking while I had a little contract dispute, what would life after hockey look like? And I decided to kind of test the waters. So I was thinking maybe occupational therapy or, working with the kids with special needs.
Right.
So I ended up working with Autism Behavioral Services Incorporated. It's a mouthful.
Wow.
But working with people with autism, I loved it. It's that connection. Sometimes they're nonverbal, so you go off body cues and, body language, California energy or vibes. But it's something I loved, and it was great. I have so many great memories from that.
Will you be able to translate that into your upcoming career as a paramedic?
Yeah, a lot of it too. A lot of people get hurt with special needs, or sometimes there's a language barrier. So you kind of look for the body language and subtle cues of, what's wrong? Are they hurting? Are they in discomfort? Things like that. And the overall paperwork from, that side of it translating to this side, it gave me a huge jump. So I wasn't so overwhelmed with the, kind of the physical responsibilities as well as legal paperwork responsibilities. So a lot of it translates in so many different ways.
So as a firefighter now as well, are you still physically fit and strong and nimble and quick?
Actually, yeah, I realized they had to do kind of CrossFit style workouts and a lot of stairs and carrying weights up and down those stairs. So I kept on it, but when my wife was pregnant, I was going through the paramedic academy, the school portion. So while she was, eating for the pregnancy, I was stress eating. So put on some weight. Now the fun time is getting it off again.
Yeah, good man, good man. So, is that how you see your future as a paramedic, as a family man?
Absolutely. Right now, I'm taking it a step at a time. Getting hired for fire, it's a long process in California. So I'm in backgrounds with 2 different departments. I'm finishing up my paramedic program. So right now, being a firefighter paramedic is my ultimate goal. And understanding, say it doesn't work out for me, I could always fall back on being a paramedic. There's paramedic to nursing programs. I could be a part of the SWAT paramedic team and maybe a helicopter medic. I don't know if I'll fit in the helicopter, but there's options.
Well, when you played in Vernon, when you first came in as a 17-year-old, I think, or no, 18-year-old, you were 6'5", 240 at the beginning of that, weren't you?
Oh, I was a big boy.
Yeah, but you trimmed down, and your playing weight was around 230. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was a part of the bike club. I remember Ferner and Williamsons were telling me, "Hey, I know you can play even at this weight, but that's not ideal." In midgets, you played 35 games, including playoffs. Here we play a lot, much more than that, like double. So if you want to have a long career and play well, you got to get some of that weight off. So I remember at the fitness club there, they had these 2 bikes with computer screens, and they had games where the faster you go, the more money you collect, and the more you could battle people.
Yeah.
And Pim was being so competitive that he hopped on, and we would battle each other all summer long, and that made it fun and easy to do.
Have you stayed in touch with Braden Pim?
Here and there, it's one of those things where you talk to him, it's like you never missed a step, like you were together all along. But his adventures and stories, God, he's so open to life in such a good way. I love hearing and catching up with him.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you one final question before we have to go here. Looking back now, during your 2 years in Vernon, what did you learn there? Or what did you pick up there? Or what did you observe there that has prepared you for the rest of your life?
One thing that really kind of leaves me yearning in my new, adventures and career is the teamwork. Everyone bought in. Everyone knew their role, and that's what it takes to win championships and be successful.
Yeah.
So when I was going through fire academy or paramedic academy, it's something, you really want to instill on people. And that's what I try to bring, whether they're receptive or not, is we're in this together. Even we're trying to have individual success.
Right.
You never will unless you learn how to work as a team, whether it's with coworkers, management, peers. And that's what really stuck with me, is how loving and open we were to accomplishing whatever mission it was, whether it was bowling, video games, hockey. And it's something that I don't think I've ever achieved, that national championship or team perfection, but it's something you always strive for.
Yeah. I remember an interview we did in Victoria during that RBC Cup tournament. I asked you specifically, what's going on here? Why is this team been so successful? And you said, very simple, Clever, we're a fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you know what? You're going to always be part of the Viper family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for being on this program.
Thanks, Don. I appreciate it.